morning, my faithful Lawyer YouTube subscribers. Today it is Monday, December something. What is today's date? The 15th, the 17th. This month is flying by. Just a few more days before Christmas. That's what Christmas is this next week. 17th, when is Christmas? Let's see. Christmas is this week, I believe. Next week, the 25th. Next Tuesday, about a week away. So anyway, I have my Christmas tree up. It still ain't decorated. I got the lights on. I finally got that on after I searched forever. And I got some nice lights on the block to see Christmas tree lights and stuff. So the lights are there. Waiting for some. Well, I have the decorations. I just been lazy. It was Sunday. I was tired yesterday. Well, anyway, I went to brunch with a friend of mine, and we were discussing human sexuality. And we were both coming to the conclusion that in the black community, and I'm only discussing the black community right now, so before you all get out your keyboards and begin pecking and typing about the white community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, the Martian community, the people living on the moon, right now I'm talking about black folks in America. We'll talk about the folks on Mars later on. But right now I'm talking about what it's like living in black America. And there's so much concern about human sexuality. And what I mean by that is black folks will really get riled up about if somebody's gay or straight or bisexual. And I've never quite understood their interest in this. Because if you're not, if you're comfortable with your sexuality, right, and you know who you are, it really, whether somebody's bi, gay, straight, whatever, it really shouldn't concern you. And that's where the issue comes in. And we both came to the conclusion that there are large groups of African Americans who, in their thoughts, have bisexual or gay thoughts, but fight it. And you have a large group of black men and women who possibly would identify as bisexual if it wasn't for their religious beliefs and anti-gay beliefs that sweep the entire black community. So a lot of people, what I'm finding as I age, I'll be 50 in about a year and a half. The older I get, the more I meet guys who are coming out, who've been married, who have children, who had children, who didn't identify as gay or bisexual, never had an experience with a man. Now all of a sudden, they're exploring their sexuality. So they've had these thoughts for years, but they fought it because they knew in their mind it wasn't right. But as they've aged and become more mature and intelligent and read more, and a lot of people read like I did. I read about human sexuality when I was just a teenager, so I can understand, well, who was I, why, what was going on with me. And the more you learn about human sexuality, you realize that it's not a choice that so many black folks be screaming, you chose to be, no. And the reason why these black folks are saying this is because they're telling the truth. They chose to stay straight because they had thoughts in their minds about being gay. They were attracted to men, or they were attracted to women. Women attracted to women, or men attracted to men. But they realized, they said, I can't go that path. I don't want to go down that path. So they made the conscious decision. They made a choice. Yes, they did. To stick to dating women if they were men, or a woman would date a man if they were women. That's why they make this comment all the time. I couldn't figure out, well, where are people getting this from that people make a choice? Now, the choice part of this is just denying a part of you that exists, that it won't last for long. You can deny your sexuality for years, but at some point in time, assuming you live long enough to make it to my age, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, at some point in time, if you have these thoughts in your mind, you're going to act on them. It's inevitable. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Eventually, they're going to be. That's why I mean so many brothers who have grown children. They're in their late 40s, 50s, mainly in their late 40s and 50s, who are just coming out, who are just deciding to come out. I've met so many of them in recent years that I'm in shock. And I'll sit there and I'll talk with them. We either talk by phone, they send me messages, I talk. Some of these guys will send me messages, we'll talk all night, then the next morning they'll block and delete me on Facebook or Instagram. Because they've had a conversation and now they're trying to cover their tracks. I talked to a lot of people. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird here. But it's more. There are a lot more bisexual. There are a lot more bisexual gay men out there. If it wasn't for religion, false religion, all religions are fake and false. Every last one of them. If it wasn't for false religion and people being fearful of what people think about them. Because I've personally never had a concern when people thought about me being gay. I just didn't. But I'm different because I don't give a fuck what people think about me about any damn thing. I've never lived my life in fear of another human being. I think my father, for instilling that in me, is not to be afraid of no nigga, nobody. Be you and be happy. But a lot of people live in fear. I meet people in their 20s and 30s and they're all afraid. I'm like, who are you afraid of? I'm scared. What are they going to do to you? Beat your ass or something? I don't understand it. There's a lot of fear of all kinds of stuff. Will my friends accept me? Will I lose my family members? Well, what will people think about me? What will my children think? You know, there's a lot of men out here who are gay and bisexual who have children. I have a friend who has 8 children. He's bisexual. He identifies as bisexual. I don't really, as hard as me to understand this, is gay, bisexual. But he got 8 children. He got a lot of child support payments to take care of. Why he chose that path is beyond. That might have been a bad choice. 8 children by 8 different women. You trying to take care of these kids and pay child support. So it doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Christmas holidays coming up. You got to buy clothes and gifts, Christmas gifts. There's a lot of money involved in that. To have 8 children, you need to be making 8 figures a year. It's a lot of money. I don't have any children. Thank the Lord for that. That's give me the shouting and screaming over here. Some people want children. Some of us don't deserve to have children. I fall in that ladder. I don't need any children. But that explains so much about human sexuality in our community, why black folks get so upset. Why they just go on every church service, there's something about homosexuality. Every you go into these churches, I've been to plenty of churches where they have so I walk through the door, sit down and plop down in the seat. The whole thing about homosexuals going to hell, and it's just ridiculous. And it just goes on and on and on. Y'all, and I always wonder, why are black folks so caught up in human sex? Why are they so concerned about something that may not have nothing to do with them? But I'm learning it has a lot to do with them. Because it's going on in your mind. See, I've learned years and years ago, I know I'm not the only gay person around here. I met so many guys. The eye-opener for me was serving time in prison in the early 90s. I was shocked at what I saw when I walked into that prison house. I said, okay, what is going on here? Very shocking. And I learned a lot from that experience. There are a whole lot more gay people out here than what you all think. There are a lot of, and then we tend to stereotype what a gay person should look like, talk like, sound like, and you can't do that. Because they come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. Big ones, small ones, little ones, sashaying ones, bugged out ones, gangster ones. I've seen them all. Don't particularly care for them gangster ones. They're kind of crazy. All them damn guns and shit. I used to mess around with this guy all the way we went. He had to have all these guns in his car. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? Everywhere you got guns stashed all over this damn car. They pull our ass up. We all going to jail. But me and you, it's only just me and him in the car. Hiding guns under the seat, hiding guns there. Got a gun on you. I'm like, shit. What have you done? Some people live their lives like this. And that man was gay. But you would never have known the way he was slinging dope around this town, the way he was running around here in these cars with them big wheels on it and jacked up vehicles. You would have never known that man was a homosexual. Never. Only way I knew, because, well, but anyway, so you would never have known. He had children, he had baby mamas and all kinds of shit going on. I'm like, God damn. But he was gay or bisexual. I'll say he was bisexual. And we dated for a little while. But the older I've gotten, I've met so many guys who have approached me. I'm not a bad looking brother. I mean, I think a lot of people look at my size and they'll see me. It could be on various places. On this cruise ship, I met some brothers. I recently just on this cruise for Thanksgiving. And I don't know. There were a lot of blacks on the ship, but it was like a lot of black men drawn to me, asking questions, exchanging phone numbers. Man, I'll get back. Well, I want to come. You in Atlanta? I'm going to come visit and you let's hang out. You know, I've accepted this journey years ago. I know who I am. I don't have to hide it. I don't give a fuck. There are a lot of people who look at me doing YouTube and say, I would never do something like that, but you ain't me. Because I don't care. Because what they're going to do, I'm comfortable with who I know that I am. I was born this way. I'm not comfortable because, I mean, if you don't like it, what y'all going to do, come beat my ass or something? I mean, what? See, I don't live in fear. And I'm not saying all these guys are living in fear. Some people just prefer that it be private. Some people don't want people to know they have an interest in men. There are a lot of guys I talk to on a regular basis and they say they like men and they're bisexual. That's how they identify. They like men and women. And they don't share this information with people because people judge them and look at them don't understand gay or straight. A lot of people don't understand bisexuals. It's taken me a long time to educate myself to understand that there are men out there who like men and women. They like both. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, it's just, I'm not bisexual, I'm gay. I always said there's like a spectrum. You have straight people. If you had a chart, you'd have straight, bisexual, gay. And everybody kind of falls on that spectrum. Either gay and straight are the extremes. So straight, if you're straight, you're in the extreme category. If you're gay, you're 100% gay, you're in the extreme. Bisexual falls in the middle. And it could be, a lot of people think that if bisexual men, and women, they could just have an interest in that person and someone in the same sex. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have sex with the person. I've met some interesting people who just wanted to just sit and talk. They never really they didn't want to take it to the next level. At least they weren't ready to take it to the next level. But if you're wondering why so many black people, especially on the internet, you see these stories just about humans. It's hard to even explain. You see these posts and videos about gays and they just go viral and people's they're just attacking. They're attacking because the people doing the attacking inside their minds, they're battling their own human sexuality. And they know they have an interest in either men or women, but they're fighting it. And some of them are putting up a hard fight on. Some people will be able to fight it to the day they die. And never ever experience that. Some people will go to their grave having fought these feelings all their lives. But isn't that what the Bible tells you to do? Die. Don't cross, So some people will follow the instruction of the Bible, a book that they believe to be true. Fakest book on planet Earth. But some people will believe that fake mess and follow it to their death. And never experience who they truly are. And live a miserable ass life in the process. I mean, can you imagine being married to a man or a woman and they're not happy with their sexuality and they're the most miserable person on planet Earth and you're trying to figure out, well, what have I done? You ain't did shit to this person. It's their mind is fucked up, not yours. You have to live with somebody, spend your life with somebody. You don't have to. But you're spending your life with somebody who doesn't necessarily want to be in bed with you. They're attracted to somebody else. They're attracted to the man walking down the street. And this is a problem with men and women, not just men. So I always tell people, be happy, do you. Live your life. Do what makes you happy. Because you sitting around here trying to please somebody else, your mother, brother, neighbor, dog, postmaster, whoever, you'll never be happy. You run around here trying to make somebody else happy, your family members, your friends. You can't live your life, you're going to be a miserable motherfucker forever. At some point, you have to be happy and find your happiness in whatever it might be. If you know that you have a tendency, that you possibly are bisexual or gay, and you're fighting it because you're so concerned about what people think, there are tons of people that I am friends with, I've known for years. Nobody knows that they're gay. Nobody knows. They don't attend gay clubs. They don't go to gay parties or functions or events. They don't go to anything that you would never know unless you knew that person. Now everybody's out in Bulldogs on a Friday night. Some people live very private lives. Some people not just club. Some people are just not people to go to clubs and be around that type of environment. I have a ton of friends who do all kinds of stuff. A lot of guys are just workaholics. They just work and they try to fight it. But people throw themselves into work and try to deal with their sexuality by just working themselves until they're exhausted. I've seen this. But whatever you do, you can only fight it for so long. Like I said, some people will carry this to their grave. Some people will die before they participate in any type of gay or bisexual sex. They'd rather die. And they will die. And they will carry these feelings and emotions all their life into their grave. But life is a miserable journey for them. I'd rather be happy than miserable as hell. And I've learned something about black folks. And I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. But I've learned this about living around black people. We can be some of the most miserable people on planet Earth. The most unhappy, miserable people on planet Earth because we're not doing the things that we want to do. We're stuck because somebody else has given us a path to walk down and say, this is the path you should walk down. I have a lot of respect for these transgender men and women who decide this ain't for me. There's Jacob Kahuna who changed his name to Jim, that's still with a J. Jacob Kahuna, those who know, he was a, Jessica. He was, I worked with Jacob, Jessica, he's now Jessica now. I have a lot of respect for him for the decision he made that was best for his life to bring him happiness. He knew for years that he was a woman living in a man's body. Jake was a very handsome, attractive man. But he knew that's not who he wanted to be. Now he's happy as Jessica, I guess. I hope he's happy as Jessica. We haven't really talked. I would love to talk to him. I've been trying to reach out to him. Well, I've tried a couple times, but I've been so busy myself dealing with my own issues. This year, I want to compete in some bodybuilding competitions. I've been trying to do that for the past few. This year, I'm going to get serious about it. So I've been working on trying to lay down a foundation to get that ready. You know, I'm a big nigga, so I'm like 6'2", 270. So I'd have to cut down to walk across the stage. And I think I'm going to walk across the stage and I think I'm going to do physique. Either physique or classic physique. I don't know. I got to learn. I got to educate myself about the bodybuilding community and all this other stuff. I work out with these guys, but I don't know much about that part of the aspect of it, that part of the journey. There are a ton of bodybuilders I know who are gay and bisexual. A ton of them. People that, you know, it's just, the gays and bisexuals come in every shape and form, every walk of life, every type of education, every job, everything. So when you're on the internet and you see all these black folks raising hell about, just understand, you're dealing with a lot of people who are mired in ignorance. For years we've been taught that being bisexual or gay is wrong. Morally wrong. By white folks. who've instilled this foolish religion, all these fake religions into our minds, beat it into us. Sometimes when I sit and have conversations with my mother, I just shake my head because her brain is so brainwashed into this religious mess. She can't see up or down. She can't see right or left. All she sees is this mess. It's just sad. And I've always said, I keep saying, Mom, you're almost 70-some years of age. You're not going to ever break free from the Matrix? Don't you want to see the world for what it really is? She's stuck. And she'll be that way until the day she dies. I don't want that for my life. When I look at religious people, I don't want to be stuck like them. There's a world out there and I want to see it and experience it. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. Kind of getting off top subject there, and in the end, they're talking about these religious fanatics. My mother does fall into the religious fanatic role. Y'all just don't know. Woo, I can tell you some stories. But anyway, today it is Monday. It is December 17th. I might do a couple videos today as I'm here decorating this doggone tree. Decorating this tree is kind of that's when these trees stay up. Last year, my tree stayed up. I didn't feel like taking the tree down because it took me so long to get it up. It was like, okay, we got it up, and now it's got to come down. Some people take their tree down the day after Christmas. I can assure you this tree going to be up a lot longer than past the day after Christmas. Maybe a few months past Christmas. Once I get this thing decorated. I got to buy some stuff too. Anyway, if you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. I would love to hear you all's comments about the large group of, we have a large group of African Americans in our country who identify, who in their minds have bisexual or gay thoughts, but they're not acting on them. They're fighting it. And I also want to say this quickly. I think a lot of reasons why you see so much gang violence in these cities, these men killing each other, I think that has a lot to do with their sexuality and anger and taking it out on another man by killing another person. I've been to prison. I've met these guys. I learned a lot in prison. A whole hell of a lot in prison. The little time I was there was enough for me. I learned about a whole other part of the world that I didn't think I'd ever meet. I met these guys, these thugs running up and down these streets. I know how they think. And I learned a lot from these guys. That little 18 months I did in prison in 1990-something, in the early 90s, I learned a lot about black men in particularly. And this was 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. And it's gotten worse. Much worse. But anyway, if you like my videos, click like. I'm out of here and go out, enjoy your Monday, and do something productive while I'm working on this tree. Oh, Lord. I guess it's time to get started. All right, I'm out. Enjoy your Monday.